coming back to school with me? We could have done it all so easily.
Hi, my name is Craig Thompson Wood. I'm the board game teacher. Thanks for coming to the classroom. Today is an interesting day for me in that as I arrived to school, I was called to the principal's office, but not for a bad reason. I was called because the principal wanted to speak to me about a concern she was having with a student. And she was saying that the student is just having some difficulty, some anxiety, getting very stressed out. And she was just wondering if there was any way that maybe I could suggest some games or something, and looking at board games maybe that he could be doing at home with his family on a family game night, or maybe involving him more in the school in some board game activities to try to help to relieve some of these anxieties and stresses that he's having. So right off there, I mean, that really pleased me to know now that my principal and my colleagues are more and more starting to see board games as a very viable tool for a number of different things, whether it's teaching curriculum or helping students with things like anxiety. So today, I want to talk about stress. So one thing that my principal and I talked about during the course of our conversation today was that the world is a stressful place, and that stress happens, and we need to, we sometimes try to protect our children from the stress that is occurring. We don't want to stress them out too much during tests. We don't want to stress them out during class. We don't want to make them feel too stressed out that they don't want to come to school. But by the same token, I believe that there needs to be some coping mechanisms put in, some ability to deal with those stresses, that they need to be prepared, because it's just a reality of life. I mean, we can protect them from it now, but the fact of the matter is they are going to have to face it at some point in their life. And this is where I think board games can really help out in one way. It's just that when we play a board game, we play to win. And I think when we're playing with our children, with our students, then we should be prepared to let them lose. Don't let them win the games, because they need to accept the fact that winning and losing is all part of things that happen in life. You're always going to find people who are better than you at some things and people that you are better than, and they need to accept these things. They need to accept the fact they're not always going to get what they want. They need to accept the fact they're not always going to win everything that they play at. And so while it's, can be a certain amount of stress in a game, I know certainly I felt certain anxiety, some stress during a game, but after the game is done, it's over. And it's one of these things we can learn to deal with these kinds of things, and through modeling the expectations, through setting, explaining our expectations of the children for sportsmanship, we can help them to become better at dealing with these kinds of stresses. Now, certainly life stresses will get far more intense than a board game, but still, it's kind of just that practice mode. It's the training wheels, if you will, of life. Just put them in these situations where they're trying to achieve something. There's a certain stresses they're competing for it. They're trying their best to achieve victory in this game. And when it doesn't happen, or does happen, they need to be able to deal with that as well. So to summarize, life is stressful. Life is hard. And I think that we are doing a disservice to our children if we don't prepare them for some of the stresses in life, whether it's through competitive sports or just always striving to do our best. But I think that one excellent way to do it is through board gaming. As we play the game, we do have the stress, but it's all in the name of fun, or at least it should be, and that's what we really need to be promoting and showing to our children, and then teaching them the skills they need to be able to deal with those stresses. Well, that's going to be it for today's episode. If you have any questions about this, or you have any other ideas for topics you might like me to talk about, please leave me a message in the comments section below. Until next time, I'm Craig Thompson Wood, the board game teacher, saying thanks for coming to the classroom.
Are you coming back to school with me?